Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad and Supercoach Pro. Today's video we're doing a round 8 Supercoach team review. This week looking alright. Scored 2,347, went back up in the ranks into the top 5,000 or just outside of it, sitting at 5,370, and round rank was 4,033. So yeah, all team values looking pretty good. 13.1 million there, 21 trades. I've only got one boost left, which is fine. I'll probably use it this week, to be honest, and go down to 18 trades. But we'll get stuck straight in the side here. Just having a look at Sicily there. Yeah, really solid pick since bringing him in about a month ago now. Scored the 132. Not much else to say about him. He's a pretty highly owned player, so if you don't already have him, bring him in. He's still at a good price. He's sort of the guy that, everyone chased us last week's points. Everyone jumped on Tom Stewart, I believe. A lot of people did, and they bang out a 180, then back it up with a 70. So this is why you don't go chasing last week's scores. You may as well just chase consistency over high variances, but that's another story in itself. Jack Crisp, pretty solid against Tigers, 121. Had a lot of the ball there. Yeah, played really well. I actually thought he would have scored a little bit better than 121 just watching that game. Jaden Short, 109. Pretty solid from him around the midfield, defence, sort of, everywhere there. He had a really good first half and slowly pitted out a little bit. But yeah, 109, you'll take that from him, just under his season average there. And still also had a pretty good price too, because of lower score a couple of weeks ago. Luke Ryan, pretty average pick, this guy. He's my Whitfield pick pretty much, and he's averaging pretty much the same as Dacos. But there was about 400k difference between these two players, or 300k. So waste of a D4, and something I'll regret by the end of the season, I'm sure, but just have to hold him for now and flick him over there during the buys. And Dacos pretty solid. I know a fair few people traded him out. He's still in most teams anyway, but his break-even's only 68, and yeah, I think I'll just keep him and make him my last upgrade. He's a very good pick there. And McCartan, 94, great to have him back and played better his best week. I actually had to field him instead of Stewart this week, like most of us held on to Stewart, and yeah, came out with his best score, McCartan. So good to see him have a really solid game in, and when you really need to field him, he actually provided the goods there. So really handy. And O'Driscoll actually didn't end up trading out, so he reset his break even. It's only at 55, so you can probably keep him another week, but I might just flick him anyway. And Conning, a bit of a surprise package, this guy in the last couple of weeks. 77 last week and 82 this week, so really handy if you had either of those two guys on your field. Lachie Neale, VC'd him. Didn't want to take the risk on Oliver and Cripps on this Sunday game. There wasn't many high scores going around, so thought I'd just take the safe bet this week and not play risk it for the biscuit. Was considering Cripps, but just couldn't do it with that hammy. Maybe VC and Cripps is sort of the better option going forward if he's in an early game. But yeah, definitely didn't want to take the C and, copper 32 like a lot of people did a month ago now. So good pick up this week, and yeah, happy he's in my side. And Oliver, 135, really solid game from him. In hindsight, looking back 2 weeks ago, he's gone up a bit of money. So glad I picked him up at about 618k or something like that anyway. And yeah, scoring really nicely for us there. And McRae had an inkly sort of feeling, I don't know if that's the right word. I was saying in my preview that, without Bont there, he probably goes big, but I just couldn't do it. I was considering it, but yeah, I should have really stuck the VC and went with my gut, but just chickened out because I had a feeling, Neale might go big against West Coast and did nothing in fairness to what we were actually expecting from his output. And then took Miller. Yeah, great. He's bounced back the last couple of weeks, so 122, back up to 600k. So if you picked him under 600k, well done to you. Still at a good price too. So yeah, solid pick. And Cripps just, oh man, he's probably close to winning the Brownlow, you'd think, in the form he's in. 151. Still at a good price as well to pick him up. And yeah, Green a little bit disappointing. 96, not much to say about that. Parker's more annoying because he was on about 85 at half time and or thereabouts and scored about less than 10 points in the last half. So I'm not sure what happened there because I was actually watching a Richmond Collingwood game. So if anyone can tell me why Parker just didn't touch it, maybe he had the leather poisoning at half time. And then, yeah, Martin, just an absolute weapon of a rookie, averaging 90, which is insane for a rookie, but that's kind of what you get for picking up a guy that's been in, not the waffle, whatever he's been in. So, yeah, looks like a good M8 or F7, wherever you got him. I probably need another midfielder, to be honest. Might have to sort that out later, though, and field Hayes in the ruck for the time being, which was actually a right 98 and 103 for Bruce. So I think Gawn scored 82, so it was actually handy having, rookie rucks this year. I just wish I had started this sort of combination instead of having to downgrade Grundy and whatever after he got injured. Ward's whatever, on season average. His break even's 46, plays Tigers. I reckon he actually gets a bit of appeal against us. We don't have the greatest midfield, but I'm keeping him maybe another week against us, and might have to chop somebody else because I wouldn't mind holding him. And Newcomb 73 or Macomb, however you want to say it. I pronounce a lot of players wrong, so don't give me too much for it. I did VCAL years ago, but he went up 50k, which is handy. Scored 73. That's the sort of score you're expecting a guy like this for anyway. He's only averaging 57. Probably wouldn't bring him in this week if you're looking at a rookie because Bont does come back and it probably hurts his score a little bit. And yeah, I've already discussed the ruck situation. I was going to bring in Sean Darcy, but then I looked at the half-time score and Hayes was at about 40, so I was hoping he'd get to about 80, sort of double it, and Darcy goes nuts and goes 178 or something stupid, so I think he's out of my price range now, and I think Hayes is fine anyway. This week he plays North Melbourne, so he's up against Goldstein. I think he'll still get a lot of hit-outs to advantage there, especially with North's midfield not being so great. And yeah, Dunkley is what it is. It's either he's scoring 130s or 70-80, which is sort of what his floor is at, which you'd prefer Butters to sort of have that floor instead of these 50s. But you can flick him if you want to. I'm just going to keep him as maybe an F7 rotation once my side gets a little bit more depth there. And Will Brodie, just super impressive, 115. Skipped over Heaney because it's, a lot of people got him, so it doesn't really matter. High ownership players that score bad, he's in half of everyone's team, so it is what it is for a guy like Heaney. We probably expect that. It's just glad we don't have 50s yet. And then Cogs 70. He's probably still a keeper anyway in that forward line. De Goey is my worst trade-in. Bring this guy in. And I think he scored about 3 70s in a row for me, so slowly regretting this pick. Seeing this and I thought, oh yeah, not bad. Next minute, it just does this kind of rubbish. And Butters, yeah, whatever. So forward line, not great. Defence is pretty solid. Midfield had a better week and ruck is pretty solid. So cash generation is pretty nice. You still got one boost left here, 100k in the bank too. But I think most teams, like my team as well, will be going 2 down, 1 up. And just probably looking for a bargain. Maybe a bargain M8 there. Not sure, so I can sort of whip Butters' horrible scores. Or maybe I even look at grabbing a decent backman down there. I'm not sure what I'll do. If I was looking at it right now and I was just playing with the side, if I had to cull 3 players, it'd have to be Hayes, O'Driscoll. I really want to keep Ward because I think he will actually pump out a decent score against us, like I was saying about 3 minutes ago. Ross is another one, or however you say his name, Rosa. He went pretty bad. He probably gets dropped, you'd think, with an 18 in his score. Not sure what happened to that Gold Coast game. But hypothetically, it could look like something like this, even if I just wanted to flick him off now. Bit of a waste of a trade, whatever. Could go, this is what I've been thinking about anyway. Could go the big Das, play Hewitt down there, and grab a couple rookies, such as this. I'm not sure about. I'll have to do a little bit of my own research. I hate going early. Maybe Greg Clark in the midfield. Not sure about Jack Carroll's job security when Stewart is back. I feel like he'll lose his spot. Maybe some Carlton supporters can tell me if you think Jack Carroll will play when Hewitt returns. Even as a Tigers man, I'm not sure about Maurice Rioli's job security. He doesn't get a lot of the ball but impacts the game, so that's handy. But I just don't feel like his scoring is going to be anywhere near a 95 and a 72 from here on out. We've got a good fixture, so the fixture coming up, we play Hawthorn, Essendon, Sydney, and then Port. So, if you win most of those games, you stay in the side, or do you bring in Carroll, who actually plays Giants, Sydney, and who else? Collingwood. Then has the bye. Because he has the first bye, it's almost like, do you even bother? But then again, I'm not sure if Morris is bye. What's Richmond's bye? Is it round 13? I should know, really. No, it's round 12 as well. So it doesn't really matter either way who you pick. But just for the DPP, the fact that he's a more, mid-forward swing, I probably would lean towards that. Could do something like this sort of a trade. This is just hypotheticals. Obviously, Sunday night trades, and to be fair, up until Thursday, never really are what you want it to be. I think I always have to adjust mine. Could do something like swing Greg Clark into the midfield. Loophole Butters score somehow if McDonald gets dropped or rested like he was meant to get rested. Play Clark as M8. And then have another free shot at the Hewitt swing potentially. I mean, they play the late game. You can loophole DeConning this time, I think. Yeah, you could actually, they play the 4:30 game, so it'd have to be actually pretty switched on. You could obviously get the E off Hewitt, go there, and if DeConning scores decent, chuck Hewitt on, and if he doesn't, just leave McCartan there. So something to look at. And for emergencies, I'd probably actually rather Macomb emergency at this point. And then, if there is a bit of a forward midfield swing, at least you can sort of muck around with Rioli and McDonald around there and use Butters as a loophole score. If, one of these guys get dropped in the future, could just do it that way. To be fair, I never really thought of that until now. Let's say Morris gets dropped in 3 weeks and you want to loophole Butters or DeGoey even, and you bring in a peanut like that, it's not a bad option to get the best score by using these DPP player rookies. You just got to make sure the rookies you bring in now, you're pretty confident that they've got job security over the bias. Then it doesn't really matter what happens after that. But looking at the side, I've only got one more upgrade in the back line when Hewitt's back anyway. And then I've got one more in the midfield. So, 18 trades left, 2 upgrades, a sideways Ryan, so three trades I really need to use. But obviously you need to go to, one down, one up. So I might use 6 trades, have 12 spares for injuries. So the team on that note is looking pretty healthy. But I think Sean Darcy is just about a must in my side. I mean, I could bring in an M8, but if Clark is anywhere scoring near these numbers that he was last week, and you think that he'll rack it up, it's a little bit tough though because he does play Melbourne this week, and he's sort of not sure what happens if he plays Melbourne this week and does a hammy in training or something stupid. I don't bring in players after one game, as you've seen, but he's the only one I would be slightly keen on. But he does got a hard fixture. Like he's got Giants and Dogs as well in that upcoming fixture. But his job security is pretty decent if he doesn't get COVID or is a close contact and whatnot. So a bit to think about. yeah, it's where am I losing points too? Like I might not even need to chase a Darcy and chase last week's score like I was actually talking about before. I could be doing that, but we know how well he scores. So I could also upgrade that, that last D6 spot instead of the spot here, because really it's rookie Hayes and say Doherty versus McCartan and Sean Darcy. So you've got to add up 2 players' points when you're actually doing trades. Look at them that way. There's a few players I've already thought about, just food for thought. Maybe you chase someone like a Goldstein who's a ruck forward, he's 450k, could take a punt on him. Even could take a punt on a player like Cameron for Collingwood, who's taken out ruck. He's scored back-to-back 100s, he's about 350k. There's some really nice, interesting pod picks you could go for because of role or because of injuries, but yeah, it's something I will weigh up in during the week and might do some left field trades, but it's just all about trying to get my last boost out the way to really make that side upgrade fast and actually get into that 1K with a really solid side and enough trades to get myself out of any sticky situations, because I haven't blown too many sideways ones. So yeah, that's the end of the team review. A little bit of rambling, but that's what you expect on a Sunday night, because I haven't had a really time to think about my side at all. Just been mucking around with trades for 10 minutes before uploading a video. So I'll leave it there. If you guys got any questions going into the week, or any trade or rookies, or anything you'd like to see on this channel in particular, or you want me to go through rookies or something like that, I'm more than happy to do a little bit of extra research into it. So you guys have a good one. Let me know what you guys scored in the comments, and I'll catch you on the preview Thursday or Friday, depending how we go. All right, peace.